The only props I have for this class are 2 blocks. A hydro flask would suffice in place of a block if you don't have one, and if you don't have any blocks, you'll make it just fine. So we'll take a comfortable seat. And we're just gonna start with a really simple breath exercise called a 3-part breath. So we'll focus on filling up our low belly first, then our middle rib cage, then our upper chest, and exhaling from the upper chest, middle rib cage, and belly. So we can think of it like 1, 2, 3, and then exhaling 3, 2, 1. So just really simply, let's begin with that. We'll start together with a full exhale. Inhale, belly, middle ribs, upper chest. Exhale, upper chest, middle rib cage, low belly. Okay, inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, low belly, 2, middle ribs, 3, upper chest. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now that you have that down, we're going to try to put a pause at the top and a pause at the bottom. So we'll inhale for 3, we'll pause at the top for 3, we'll exhale for 3, and pause at the bottom of the breath for 3. Let's give that a try. I'll count out the first one just so it makes sense, and then it's probably easier after that if you do a round or 2 on your own. Okay? So we'll start together. Take a full deep exhale. Inhale for belly, ribs, upper chest. Hold your breath for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath out for 3, 2, 1. Try that 3 more rounds on your own. I'll do it with you. If you find the 3 count is easy, you could make it 4. Inhale for 4, pause for 4, exhale for 4, pause for 4. Try another round. One more round. Let your breath return to normal breathing. So Ujjayi breathing is where we tone the back of the throat, and the breath makes this little sound as we restrict the breathing passageway to be more narrow. As we restrict the throat and it becomes more narrow, it takes longer to inhale and exhale. Or if you're at home and you're not sure how to do that, you can just breathe evenly in and out of your nose a few rounds. When you inhale into the upper chest, think about the shoulder blades and the collarbones broadening out to left and right side. So as you inhale, there's a rising to the breath and a broadening at the top. Like the outer points of your left and right arms or shoulders move outward further at the top of the breath. One more breath exercise, a vigorous one. So this is called Bhastrika. What we're going to do is reach our arms up on an inhale, palms wide and open. So it's a strong inhale through the nose. And then as we exhale, we'll make fists and pump the elbows down by the sides. Okay, so exhaling strongly, also out of the nose. So we'll inhale, exhale, exhale, right? Out of your nose. When you exhale, it's almost like your elbows can kind of pump the rib cage or hit the sides lightly. Okay, so we'll try that for about 15. Okay, so take a deep exhale. And then inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Slow down. Exhaling this last one. And release your hands to your lap. Let your breath just return to normal, easy breath. You might feel a tingling throughout the body. Notice your heart rate, notice your mind. Thank you guys for joining me for class this morning. Namaste. Okay, so if you're seated on something, we'll come off of that and we'll come to our knees. Okay, and for first pose, we'll take our hips right above our knees and then walk the arms out. And this will be an extended puppy pose or Anahatasana. So we're looking to sway the spine, sway the belly towards the floor. You can place your forehead on a block if your forehead doesn't reach the ground. If your forehead does reach the ground, you can set it all the way down. Let your sitting bones press back here. Let your inner thighs roll back. See if you can soften, maybe some of you, your heart all the way to the floor. Maybe you can set your chin down. Feel your belly narrow. Feel the outer hips press back. Take a really deep inhale here, and as you exhale, letting go to your fullest. Great. And then press down into your hands. We'll walk our hands in, come to hands and knees, table pose. On an inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Take a moment to stretch out through the right ribs. And as you exhale, thread your right shoulder underneath. Okay, you can press your left fingertips to the floor and a little deeper into the twist. You might be able to look up. Hey, if that all feels good, your left arm could reach to the sky and perhaps wrap around your back. Take a few deep breaths here, filling breath all the way around the ribs. Okay, and from here, if you wanted to, you could reach your left leg back. So then you're on your right knee only. From here, if you don't fall all the way over, which can be easy to do, you can twist the shoulder more open to the sky, a little deeper twist. Great, if your left knee is up, let's set it back down. Reach your left arm up to the sky, replace it to the floor, and then sweep your right arm all the way up to the sky. Inhale. Okay. Reach your right arm forward towards the front of your yoga mat and then send your left leg back. Good. Tone your belly here for bird dog pose. Press your left foot as if it were pressing into a wall behind you, and then squeeze elbow to knee underneath you. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale to extend. Exhale to draw in, knee to nose. Inhale to extend. Good. Last one. Squeeze that in. Great. And then place both hands back to the floor. We're going to bend our left knee, point your left toe up to the sky, and then we'll take 10 or so little knee lifts. So this should work that left glute. Okay. Try to keep your left hip pointing towards the floor and pump the left toes towards the sky. Okay, we'll take several more for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Place both knees to the floor. We'll tuck our toes and find first down dog. Feel your calves stretch out here. Okay, to deepen that calf stretch a little more, can you lift 10 toes off the floor, lift and spread your 10 toes and drive your heels towards the ground. Look back towards your thighs. One more breath with long spine. Good. Lift up to the ball ridges of your feet. Roll forward till your shoulders come over the wrists. And then drop your knees all the way down to the ground. Good. We're going to take our left arm up to the sky. And feel the left side body stretch out. Big breath here. And as you exhale, thread the left shoulder underneath. So twisted child's pose. You can press to the floor with your right hand, opening up that twist. You can reach your right arm up to the sky if you like, maybe all the way around your back. Give that right shoulder a roll up towards your ear and then down onto your back. Deep breaths. If you lifted your leg on the other side, you can extend your right knee. Open your hips slightly more to the right. Squeeze your inner thighs here towards center to help keep your balance. Good. One more really deep 3-dimensional breath. Unwind your right arm, replace your right knee. Press the right arm to the floor. Inhale the left arm all the way up to the sky. Good. Send that left arm forward and then tone your belly, extend your right leg. Then fire up through the right glute. Feel the core is strong, and as you exhale, elbow to knee underneath. 2 more times. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, inhale, stretch. Exhale. Good. We're going to place the left hand to the ground, so both hands down. Bend your right knee, point your right toe towards the sky, and then just pulse, gently pulse your right knee up and down. Try to keep your right hip point turned towards the floor. You should feel this working in the right glute. Okay, so strengthening for that right glute muscle. Okay, we'll go a couple more for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Both knees down. Let's tuck our toes again, downward facing dog. So this time, instead of pedaling the feet, let's just reach the heels to the floor. Feel your shoulder blades anchor onto your back and pull them down towards your waist. See if you can send your sit bones a little bit higher here. Okay, at the end of your next exhale, see if you can hold your breath out for 3 seconds. So we'll inhale. Exhale completely. Hold your breath out at the bottom. Tone your belly and pelvic floor in for 3, 2, 1. Good. Lift your right leg to the sky. As we exhale, we're going to step this right foot through top of our mat to a lunge. Good. Find your fingertips on the floor. Feel a strong lunge with that back hip lifting up for a moment. Good. And then we're going to set the back knee down. We're going to shift back, lifting right toes up for a half split. And we're gonna alternate between these two poses. So here's our first one. We'll exhale, fold towards the shin. And then on our inhale, we'll lean into that right foot for a lunge, reach the arms up. As we exhale, we'll set the hands down, shift your hips back for a hamstring stretch, right side. Forward to the foot, inhale, reach the arms up. Good, last one, exhale, touch down, shift the right hip back, right toes up, half splits. And rock forward to your foot, inhale, lunge pose. Tuck your tailbone strongly here, belly is active. Good, as we exhale, touch the hands to the floor. Step your feet back now to a plank pose. Let yourself hold your plank for a moment, tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Good, now see if you can drop down to the forearms. Take your elbows underneath the shoulders. Palms can be on the ground or together. Tuck your tailbone towards your heels, fire up your thighs. We'll stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can slowly lower all the way to the ground. Point your toes. Draw your hands back by the low rib cage. Give your shoulders a roll onto the back. And then tuck the tailbone and lift up to our first little cobra today. You should feel work in the backs of the arms and the triceps. Pull your hands towards your hips. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. As we exhale, downward facing dog, take 3 breaths. Find stillness in your breaths, 1 more. Okay, take your left leg up and back. Press your right heel down as you do, so big stretch for the back of your right leg. And then step your left foot forward all the way through top of your mat. Take a moment in a high lunge. Feel like you're launching off those back toes, hips are lifted. Tone your belly, and then we'll gently set the back knee to the floor, and then shift back for half splits pose. Draw your left toes towards your shin and exhale, fold over that leg. On your inhale, rock forward into the left foot lunge. Reach your arms up, opening through the front body. Exhale, touch down, shift the hips back, half splits. On your breath, inhale forward, reach up. We'll do 1 more round. Those 2 poses, move on your breath. And we'll exhale, set the palms down. Okay, lift the back knee up, step back again to your plank pose. Let's do our forearm plank sequence 1 more time. So we'll lower down to both forearms. And really tuck your tailbone towards your heels here, tuning into the core strength. Press your elbows to the floor, feel your shoulder blades broaden on your back. For 5, 4, engage the legs, 3, 2, 1, lower it down. Good. On an inhale, maybe a little bit higher cobra this time. Maybe you're lifting your knees for an upward facing dog. Good. On our exhale, up and over the toes, downward facing dog. Good. So we're going to walk our way, or you can jump up to the top of your yoga mat. At the top of your mat, set your feet hips width apart. Take a halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen the back of your neck. And as you exhale, grab your big toes with your first 2 fingers. Padangusthasana. We'll take a deep fold here for 4 or 5 breaths. Drive your heels into the floor.
If your hamstrings are tight, your knees could be bent. That's no problem. As you drive your heels into the floor, can you lift through the sit bones? And this is a back body pose, so feel your breath fill up into the entire back body. Feel the breath up underneath the musculature of your back, into the back of your lungs. Good. We're going to lift up halfway with our inhale. Unplug fingers from your toes, reach all the way to the sky. Great, hands to heart as you exhale. We're going to lift our left knee up into the chest. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Okay, and then 5 times we're going to step this foot back. See how far you can take it back, tap your toe, and then lift your left knee again into the chest. Good, so working some strengthening on that right leg side. Tap and lift for 2, 3 more. Step that left foot back, tap it to the floor, bending your knee. Come back up, 3. Okay, 2 more. The more I shift my center of gravity forward, maybe even reaching my arms forward, the easier that is. Okay, 4. Last one, 5. We're gonna bring the knee all the way back up. Good, and then we're gonna step that foot back far, toe down, heel down. We're gonna open up for triangle pose. So the feet are lined up front to back, front leg is straight, lean in towards the right side. Fingertips could come to the floor or to a block. And left arm to the sky. So this is virtually a neutral spine pose. My spine's in a slight lateral bend at the waist, but really very little. See if you can think of your spine and rib cage like this long cylinder and reach the left and right sides of your long cylinder torso forward. Gaze is at your top fingertips. Take one more breath here. Okay, press down into the back foot. Pull your right heel towards the left. Come on up. Bend your right knee for warrior 2. Now really pull your right heel towards the left foot. Settle your shoulders away from your ears. Press both feet into the floor. And then we're going to take our right arm up and back for Exalted Warrior. And settle into the right hip a little bit more. Feel the right low belly lengthen. Good, and come on up. So our first big twist of the day, we're going to bring our hands to heart. I'm going to lift my back heel up and off the floor. So some of us might take this back knee down. We're going to bring our left elbow across the right knee. Okay, plenty of you might keep your left knee lifted up. Okay, bring your left elbow over the knee for a twist. Again, your back knee could be down. So it's harder to breathe deeply in our twists. So give extra attention and space to your inhales. Press through your back heel and squeeze your inner thighs towards center. One more breath. Then slowly lift your left elbow off your knee. Set your hands to the floor. And then shift your feet back, plank pose. We'll lower here to hover this time. And then inhale to an upward facing pose of your choice. Hips down, Cobra. Hips up, upward facing dog. And exhale, you choose child's pose, or maybe you'd like downward facing dog instead. If you're in child's pose, we'll all come up to downward facing dog. You can bend your knees and step or jump forward to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. And reach the arms to the sky. Inhale all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands to heart as you exhale. Okay, I'm going to switch sides of my mat so I can face you. We're going to lift our right knee up into our chest. Squeeze your inner thighs towards the midline, and then slowly we're going to step this right foot back, tap your toe, and then bring your right knee back up to center. Good, so strengthening for our knees, strengthening for the quads. Step that knee back up for 2. Okay, 3 more. The more I reach my arms forward, the more balanced I might feel. 3. 2 more, go on your breath, lightly touching your toe. Okay, this is 1, but bring it all the way back up first. Good, then we'll step that foot back. Okay, toe down, heel comes down for wide legs, triangle pose. So 2 straight legs for this one, open the arms wide, and we'll lean into our left foot. Again, can you feel the neutral quality of the spine? Feel like the front body and the back body and the left and right side bodies reach towards the front of your mat evenly. If you need more hamstring opening today, that was one of the requests. Really let that left sit bone lift up and back. One more breath here. Good. Now engage your left heel towards your right foot. Pull the heel in to come up. Bend your left knee. Warrior 2 pose. Turn your left palm to the sky. As you do, we're going to reach back to the right leg for Exalted Warrior. Let your belly tone in. Feel the left rib cage expand as we breathe here a few breaths. Let your left hip keep sinking towards the earth as the left side body lifts up and out. Okay, we'll come back up, and now to our twist. So we're gonna lift our right heel up off the floor. Some of us, more beginner version, you'll set that knee down, and we're gonna reach our right elbow across the left knee for a twist. If you'd like, that back knee can stay up off of the ground. Really important then is the midline balance, so draw your inner thighs towards center. Roll your shoulders onto the back and down away from your ears. And when you breathe, make space for your inhale. Good. We'll take our hands to the floor coming out. Step your left foot back to a plank. Lower down here, hover, Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. Again, feeling work in the triceps. Inhale to your upward facing pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. See if you can take 3 breaths, and in those 3 breaths, find stillness. If you can pause at the end of your exhale, even just for a count, give it a try. And we're going to lift our left leg up and back. Step your left foot through to the top of your mat And then turn your feet parallel, so you're facing the wide side of your yoga mat. Here your toes are in slightly more narrow than your heels, so a gentle pigeon toe. Lengthen your chest forward, and as you exhale, we're going to fold over the legs. Again, these larger forward folds are big time for the back body, so you'll feel the hamstrings in a big way. And feel your breath fill up all through the back, through your spine, through the long muscles that run the length of your back, through the back rib cage. One more deep breath here. On an inhale, walk your hands forward. Now, I usually like to use a block for this pose, so I'm going to bring a block right underneath my chest. I'm going to put my left hand on that block and then lengthen forward. Maybe I'll show you from the side. Okay, lengthen forward. I'm going to take my right arm to the sky for a twist. So whether your left hand is on a block or the floor, the more I press into that left hand, the more torque I have to be able to twist my spine. See if you can move that right shoulder away from your chin and look up. And bring hands to the floor, re-lengthen. Okay, switching hands, right hand down, start to twist, open the chest to the left arm to the sky. The more we press into the right hand, again, the more power or the more torque we'll have to make a deeper twist. Move the left shoulder down away from the chin. As you exhale, touch your hands to the floor. Okay, now pivot your feet to the top of your yoga mat. Okay, so oh goodness, I'm not sure what side you have forward here because I did this a little differently, but let's have our right foot forward, left foot back. Sorry if you have to adjust that. Okay, and we're gonna come on up, hips squaring forward towards the front of our mat. My back foot's angled in pretty sharply, my right foot is straight on forward. Okay, I might have my blocks handy for this one. I'm going to tuck tailbone to the floor and bring my hands to my hips. Give your shoulders a roll up and onto the back. Draw the pelvic floor in and up, and we'll extend the spine here. Okay, as we exhale, pull your right hip back while you lean forward. Okay, for pyramid pose. So a big hamstring stretch. If you have your blocks and want to use them, they can go underneath each hand. If you're able to reach the floor, then you can reach the floor here and fold in. Continue to open your right side belly to the right. Continue to lengthen your chest and heart forward. Okay, with our inhale, we're going to lift up halfway. Okay, so here's our big twist of the day. You might, again, use a block. So I'm going to bring my left hand down to this block. You might be able to just reach the floor. Okay, and I'm going to take my right hip back in space and twist open to the right side, twisted triangle. Okay, so I'm really spinning my outer right hip back. So to work a twist, use your breath, right? Worry less about the shape of your body. Focus more on your deep inhales and then your deep exhales that create the emptiness, allowing you to twist a little more. On your exhale, touch your hands down. Okay, we're gonna step our left foot forward. Take your feet wide on your mat for a yogi squat. You can press elbows inside of your knees, scoop your tailbone forward. So if you actively squeeze your glutes here, it'll help open the inner thighs a little bit more. See if you can close your eyes and find some stillness at the heart for 2 more breaths. We're going to take our hands to the floor, lift the hips up. You can walk your feet in. Take a little extension of your spine, halfway lift. Fold as you exhale. Good. On our inhale, halfway lift again. And then we're going to step our right foot back. Again, a short stance, maybe 3 feet wide. I'm going to press into that right heel and come on up to stand. So my left foot pointing straight forward, right foot sharply angled in, and I'm going to square my hips towards the front of my mat. Tuck the tailbone down, lift the chest. Really press into the right heel here as you lift up and back. Good. And as we exhale, I'm going to pull my left hip back in space, open the left side body slightly to the left, and take that deep fold over the left leg. So trying to remember the requests we had today were hamstrings, so we've done a good bit of that. A few people mentioned lower back, and in my mind, the best twists for releasing the low back are twists. So I'm adding in several twists today. Okay, we'll press down into the feet, lift up halfway. Okay, so I'm going to take my block underneath my right hand. I'm making this pose a little easier on myself today, keeping the right hand on the inside of my foot. If you wanted to make the pose harder, you could take your hand to the outside of your left foot. Okay, works either way. I like using a block here because if I'm on the floor, my chest is more tilted towards the ground. So in my body's experience, I feel like I have more space to twist when I use a block. Okay. Always up to you. Take your left arm to the sky. Good. And then once your body's approximated the shape, try not to worry so much about perfecting all the little anatomy parts of the pose. Just go to your breath. If we can really learn to listen to the intelligence of our own breath, our body will show us how to adjust these postures. One more, the deepest breath you've been able to take today. Take it now. And on your exhale, touch your hands to the floor. Okay, again, we're going to step our right foot forward, turn the toes out, and we'll sit down. Second time into a squat. Should feel a little easier this go around. Okay, so reach your arms forward from here. See if you can bring your knees in, maybe sit all the way to the floor. Maybe that was easier, maybe not. Okay, I'm going to stretch my right leg forward and my left foot over the top. And then reach right arm up here for a twist to the left. Okay? If you wanted to wrap your arms all the way around, maybe there's a bind there for you. We're pretty warmed up with twisting, so you might be able to go deep here. If not, your left hand can just sit behind you on the floor. Okay, do let the shoulder blades draw down your back. Feel your pelvic floor engaging, lifting up all the way through the crown of the head. Okay, draw your shoulder blades onto the back so the chest broadens. Okay, we'll unwind from here. Now, bend your right knee and bring your right heel to the left sitting bone, or to the outside of the left glute, and stack your knees up together. This is Gomukhasana Pose. Okay, so we'll work with the shoulders here too. That was another one of the requests. We're gonna lift the right arm up and turn your thumb to the back of the room. Place your right palm between your shoulder blades. Okay, and then reach your left arm out, turn your thumb to the ground. Okay, roll the left shoulder on the back and then bend your elbow. You might be able to reach your hands. If you can't reach your hands, just press your hands into your back. Good, so try to release your hips here as we sit. Press your head back into the upper arm or into your forearm, your right arm. Okay, instead of folding forward here to start, tone your belly and lean a little bit to the left. Okay, so the right arm is on top. We're opening up underneath the right shoulder blade all the way down through the right side body. Okay, come on up. If you'd like to fold, keeping your hands, you could, or you can release your hands to the ground and we'll fold here. We won't be here too long, stretching the hips for Gomukhasana. There was requests for breath work, which we did a little bit in the beginning. I'll try to fit a little more in at the end. But you can bring that into all of your yoga postures as well. We're practicing Ujjayi breath. And I like to pause sometimes with my breath all the way out, especially in a forward fold pose. So I'll complete my exhale, and then at the end of the breath, hold the breath out for a moment, just looking for stillness of the mind. Okay, we're going to lift up and out with an inhale. So this odd transition, maybe you've seen it before, but I'm going to press into my hands, lift up to the outer edges of my feet, and then just turn it all the way around. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going until you're sitting down. However, then when we sit down, we're going to extend our left leg for our twist. Okay, so left leg straight, right foot should be over the top and outside of left knee. Reach your left arm up. And we're twisting to the right side. Right hand can come behind you. Some of you might take a bind in the twist. Squeeze both shoulder blades onto the back. Let the shoulder blades draw down away from the ears. And untwist on your next breath. And then go ahead and stack your knees. Okay, for Gomukhasana Pose. So we're sitting in between the heels, heels on either side. We're going to reach the left arm up to the sky and then turn your thumb towards your head and all the way to the back of the room. With that, bend your elbow and place your hand between your shoulder blades. Okay, reach your right arm out, thumb down. Okay, take that hand back, roll the shoulder blade or the head of the shoulder forward, and then reach back. Your fingertips might clasp, or if they don't, just push your hands into the back however they land. Let your hips soften into the floor. Press your head back into the left arm if it lines up. And then here, root down through the left hip, and we're going to lean to the right side. Try to keep your left sitting bone on the floor as you lean over to the right. So you should feel some stretch underneath the left shoulder blade, left ribs. Good, come on up. And then from here, we'll lean forward over the legs. You can keep your arms in this position if you like. Or you can let your arms rest to the floor. And we'll take several breaths here. Really see if you can let go deeply through the hips. Let the weight of your torso really be heavy over the legs. So the weight of our torso passively resting on the legs gives the stretch. As we inhale, we're going to lift up. If your arms are still bound, unbind them. And then just reach the arms to the sky here for a moment. Roll the biceps back. Let the shoulder blades soften down your back. Lift. And take your hands to the floor behind you. You can turn your fingertips so they're pointing at your hips. And then unwind the legs. Place your feet hips width apart or slightly wider. Again, fingertips pointing towards the hips. Roll your shoulders up onto the back, and we're going to press here for reverse table. Lift the hips up. It's a big time shoulder stretch. You might be able to hang your head slightly back, or keep the head in line with the spine. Use your glutes here, lifting up for 5, 4. Tuck your tailbone towards your heels, 3. Hamstrings active, 2. And 1. Lower the hips to the floor. Good. Lie down, pull your knees into your chest. Turn your head to one side. Turn your head to the other side. Good, we're going to stretch our left leg forward. Take your right leg up to the top. You can either grab your toe if you're able to reach it, or you can set your elbow on the floor and just open either a bent right knee or a straight right leg out to the right. Root your inner left thigh to the floor and don't let your left hip or your left buttock come up off the ground. Relax through your shoulders and jaw. Good. Bring that leg up, bend your knee. Just an easy twist to the left side. Right knee comes across your body. Stretch your right arm out to the side, look to your right. And bring your right knee up to center and extend your right leg. Okay. We're going to lift our left leg up. You can either grab your toe or setting your elbow on the ground. You can open your left leg into your left hand. Okay. We're going to extend left leg out to the side. I will even grab my heel if flexible enough. Okay, again, it doesn't matter. The hand could be on the underside of the leg. Root your inner right thigh to the floor. Keep your right buttock on the ground. Extend forward through your right heel and up and out through your left heel. Relax your shoulders. Bring that left leg to center, bend your knee, take a twist. So left knee comes across the body to the right side, extend your left arm to the side, look out to your left. Bring your knee up to center. Draw both knees into your chest for a moment and see if you can just come to perfect stillness here for a few seconds. You might notice any sounds you can hear around you. Okay, from here we're going to rock back up to a seated position. We're going to do one last short pranayama before we finish, and then I'll leave you guys to take Shavasana and I'll log off of the IG Live class. Okay. So come on up, take a comfortable seat. We're going to do a different kind of 3-part breath now. As we inhale, we're going to inhale about 1/3 of our lungs full. Take a pause. Keep breathing about 2/3 of your lungs full and pause. And then fill the lungs completely, pausing at the top. And then take a full deep exhale. Okay, I'll walk us through it. So first, let your hips relax into your block. Let your back body relax. Soften your jaw. Okay, and we'll join together. Take a full exhale. Inhale 1/3 of your lungs full. Pause. 2/3. Pause. Full breath all the way to the top. Pause and relax. One big exhale. Again, 1/3 of your breath full. Complete stillness in the pause. 2/3 full. Pause. Full breath to the top. Pause. Long exhale. Last round. 1/3 of the way full. Pause. 2/3. Pause. All the way full breath. Pause, relax everything at the top of the breath. One long, slow exhale. We're going to reverse that. Long inhale. Exhale 1/3 of the way out, pause. 2/3 of the way out, pause. All the way breath out, pause at the bottom, and then one big inhale. Okay, so reversing it for 3 rounds. We'll join together with a deep exhale. Full, easy inhale. 1/3 of the breath out. Pause. 2/3. Pause. All the way breath out. Pause. One big inhale. 1/3 of the breath out. Pause. 2/3. Pause. Empty breath. Pause. One more round. Inhale. 1/3 of the breath out. Relax. 2/3. Pause. Empty breath. Pause. Let your breath return to normal. And after your breath is returned to normal, let yourself notice any stillness you feel in the mind. So breath control exercises, yoga calls them pranayama, have a great effect on calming the mind or shifting our mental state, shifting our thoughts. So if the mind feels quiet here, please feel free to sit for some moments of meditation. Whenever you'd like, you can lie down and please take a full rest, a full shavasana. Thank you for joining me for class today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We have more classes coming out every week. These classes are free. If you feel so moved to make donations to Venmo, the information is in the link underneath this class, or you can Venmo to @SoulShapeYoga. Again, it's my pleasure to be here with you teaching yoga. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.